And I received a telephone call from the mortuary officer out at the Walker Army Airfield Base, inquiring about what would be the smallest possible casket that we could get that would be hermetically sealed. At that time, I know that we had used like the 4 feet and caskets. We had used those before, but I thought they also made them in a 3/6. But what was odd about it, it looked like the designs or something. It kind of reminded me of maybe some Egyptian signs or whatever. She gave me a little diagram that she had drawn some figures of some arms and face and so on. She told me that this is what, was what was in those, that it was a crash. It wasn't an airplane, but they didn't know what it was at that time. There was 3 bodies. She said 2 of them were very mutilated. One looked like it might have walked out, or that it, might have lived a little while. And she explained they were like 3.5 feet to 4 feet tall. It reminded him of a real small ancient Chinese person, no hair at all. Probably 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks. Could have been a little longer, but I know it was at least 2 weeks. I got a letter addressed to me at Glendinis at the Ballard Funeral Home. With she didn't sign. It didn't have any returned address or anything on it, but inside of the letter, it was just a note. She said, "I don't have time to write. I will write later. This is my APO number," and that was the extent of it. So then I wrote back to her. Then probably 3 weeks or probably a month after that, then I got the letter that I had mailed to her. It was returned. It was stamped return, and also in red printing it said deceased.
Could this be that smoking gun document that really reveals that there's a cover-up, that they are underground bases doing a research on alien reverse technology, and I think it's written in plain sight on these documents. So get ready, everybody. This could be it.
So this is a beautiful image. I love it. I'm into circles and lines myself, connecting the dots. This is a great find.
Southern California, 1990. Adult female drew these 3 non-humans that abducted her. She said these aliens had light brownish yellow skin. The being on the right also has a triangle inside a circle on his upper right chest. That symbol has been seen by many abductees on leotard-like uniforms of some gray beings, including Jean Robinson of Springfield, Missouri. She drew this circle around an equilateral triangle that she remembered on the left breast of her abductor's bodysuit.
LA-based investigative filmmaker Jeremy Corbell recently released this video taken by the Navy, showing what he describes as pyramid-shaped UFOs flying over the USS Russell off the San Diego coast in July of 2019. The Pentagon has since confirmed that the video is authentic.
This group of techniques that came out at that time came out of Hollywood. Now, you've seen Argo? Has anyone in here seen Argo? Hands? Oh yeah, Ben Affleck would love you guys. In Argo, Tony proposes, oh, let's get a Hollywood location scouting crew. And Bryan Cranston laughs, or it says the best bad idea. This is our best bad idea. It wasn't a bad idea, it was kind of a good idea. Tony knew a lot of people out in LA. He knew a lot of people in Hollywood. He knew a lot of people in the magic community, because Tony had always been interested in magic as a kid, and he paid attention to it. So we went back behind the scenes in LA to the people that design and engineer the illusions, and that is a profession of building illusions for the magicians to perform. They don't design them. The magicians are the performers. The people we were interested in were the engineers. We said, okay, you can walk an elephant out on the stage in a theater and make it disappear. We've seen it. Big box on the stage, elephant comes out, they walk him in, they close the door, they talk to you for a minute, they open the door, the elephant's gone. We wanted to know, how do you do that? I mean, of course it's a trick, but we have some people in Moscow that we would like to disappear right on the street too. And it doesn't have to be that big a box, but we want to know how to execute deception and illusion on the streets of this tough city that we were working in. And I don't think anybody in LA ever said no to us, whether we were talking about masks, whether we were talking about special effects or makeup, certainly not when we were talking about deception and illusion. What they told us is there are some formulas that are just so basic. They said, when you start out, you call it an operation, we call it a performance. If you're going to have a successful performance, you have to first understand your stage. Where is your stage? What is your stage? Is your stage the sidewalk outside the American Embassy? Or is it a parking garage somewhere? What is your stage that you're performing on? Is it in the lobby of the embassy? So find your stage. Then, who's your audience? Who are you playing to? Who are you trying to fool? And you have to understand their point of view, actually their field of vision. Because some deceptions, you can walk in a circle around them and they still hold up. Some deceptions, like the elephant, you have to be sitting straight in front of it. And if you're off over here, you might start seeing, that's a little hinky. You have to be in front of it. So they said point of view is very important. So figure out your stage, figure out your audience, and then you just kind of overwhelm them with your performance. We did things called identity transformation, where we would turn you into you. We would switch people. We would take the person that had no surveillance and our person who had too much, and we would switch them. It was a way to get away from surveillance. We used masks. You probably saw a picture in the back of the room of a mask. That was one of the first ones we made. Hollywood uses twins. Well, we didn't have twins, but we could make twins. We could make triplets. We could make 8 of you, but we usually only needed 1 more extra. If you have 2 of you, then you can develop these scenarios where surveillance is very confident that they are following you, but it's not you. It's you number 2. You number 2 is taken off and is inside this bar and doing something else. That mask technology took me into the Oval Office. There's a display in this museum that shows I'm demonstrating the mask technology to the president. I'm briefing him. Eventually, I took the mask off and showed it to him, and he was impressed.